Here we go. What's up, everybody, man? Thank you guys tuning in to the One Big Fire podcast. We are like, as soon as you hopped in, Brent, I was like, my mind went to 2010. And I remember, Kinder and I had a little sabbatical for a few years and just getting thrown back into kind of the world of, kind of what was happening at that time. And I remember, the shops at Legacy in that back room, kind of, I could vividly see the room. Right. And, and just igniting that stage and just the energy. And I'm like, yeah, this is something special. And man, what an incredible 15-year run it has been, looking back since that time. And I'm really excited for you to jump in with us and really kickstart 2025, the second half of the decade, just as we're kind of looking at things and moving into the future. So, man, welcome. It's great to have you on with us.
Great to be here, man. Love you guys.
I'm glad you started it out with 2010 because I want to hear Jay's take on it. But as soon as you said 2010, I immediately teleported back to the shops, and that's the first time I ever met Brent Gove or even heard of him. And you guys put him on the stage. And I was thinking to myself, I've never been to a real estate event where someone's so fired up about open houses that he made the crowd cry. Like I'm over here, I'm crying. That's why I'm crying, but this guy's lighting this place on fire. And I'm like, holy crap, what did I just experience? Who is this dude?
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's we've been doing this a long time, huh? Yeah. That was a really, really, really good group of people. And man, you can never underscore the value of getting in the room with people doing stuff.
Yeah,
that was a heck of a lineup.
It was really, you think about really who was all in that room, and you look at the foundation and the cornerstone of the industry at where it is today, right? And really who's anchored in the values and the principles and driving the direction of the industry, and who's had the ripple effect of that, of those individuals that were in that room, the ripple effect, measured over the last 15 years, and where the industry is at today and moving into the future.
Yeah. It's like you say, you can't underscore the value of getting in the right rooms. I think I flew in 1999 all the way to Toronto, Canada, 26 years ago. Can you believe that, Jade?
Yeah.
And I met you there, and you were on stage with Brian Moses, and you were like the youngest rock star from Oklahoma, Lawton, some military town, and he's selling 600 homes a year. And I was like, I was selling like 40 plus homes a year. I'm like, how does anyone sell 80, let alone 600? And of course, you get those rooms like, oh, it's easy to sell.
Yeah, that was my, I told this story a few times, but, I remember the very first time being in that room, and I was sitting next to a guy that I didn't know he was anything. And, he gets up to the mic and he's like, yeah, last year I sold 400 homes. And I was like, what? Like, what? Like the very first time you see it, you're just like, you just can't believe it. And then you're like, okay, well, it's possible. So how'd you do it? Right. And you start trying to figure out, man, well, what are these guys doing and gals? And, I think, a lot of success comes down to, once you see kind of what it looks like, it's just now, it can be done. Now it's a question of whether you really want it or not. And, for me, I've just been lucky enough to be the dumbest guy in the room plenty of times to see things that I didn't know were possible. And, yeah, man, those are good times, man. A lot of shared knowledge. The way to success has always been, I know for Brent, for me, and for Al and for John, we've always gotten in those rooms and gotten around people that were doing bigger than us. And what do you know? We end up doing, the same thing. And so, super great. We're fortunate to have had those experiences.
Yeah, I think one of the keys is you meet people that maybe they don't look like Ryan Serhant. Right? You meet Ryan Serhant, crap, he looks like a movie star. He's in these high rises. Like, I could never do this. But when you meet, remember Leonard Fazio? Just a normal guy from Iowa or something. I don't remember where North Dakota. I don't know. 600
Yeah.
And he killed it. I said, hey, Leonard, you want to have lunch? He's like, sure. And I had lunch with Leonard. He spoke for an hour, but I had a one-on-one lunch with him for an hour, and I just interrogated him. And then they said, shadow someone. So I called you, and I flew to Oklahoma City, then drove out to Lawton and hung out with you for the day, and successfully includes you guys. But then the Matthews in Texas, 800 homes a year.
Yep.
So the key is you go to these rooms and you meet someone who maybe doesn't look like Ryan Serhant or a movie star, right? And they're selling 1,800 homes here. You're like, what's my excuse? And then you get angry, you get mad, and frustration occurs. And that is the moment of breakthrough. Frustration. If you're frustrated today watching this stream, like, I'm pissed, I'm like, this market's got me, I'm sick of it. Welcome to leadership. You're about to have a breakthrough. Frustration is a precursor. If you're miserable, go have a beer. You're miserable people wallow. No offense, but you're not ready. But if you're frustrated, you are ready to have your breakthrough.
Yep.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So good.
And it's a good indicator too, right? When you make that decision, and you know, our buddy Stuman talks about, you know, kind of the force of average. Every time you make the decision to take your life to that next level, get ready, right? It's coming at you. And it's just something you put that out there in the universe. You make the decision, and then just be ready. There was a great reel saw the other night, kind of just maybe going down this path. Maybe I was thinking about it. And there was a gentleman talking about him and his wife. They were actually, you know, in Hawaii, and they were talking about their future, and they made some tough decisions about where their future was going. And he said, okay. He said, told her, he said, be ready, buckle up. They literally land when they get back home, and they're driving the car home from the airport. They get a flat tire. And he looks at her and goes, I told you to be ready. It's already starting. And it's the little things like that, right? When you choose to take your life to another level, you choose to stop playing small, you choose to go there, the force of average is going to come and get you. And you can choose to be like, dang, bad luck, or like, not today. You're not getting me today. I'm going to fix this, and we're going to keep moving because I know you're going to keep coming at me.
That's so good. Does anyone love chocolate chip cookies or brownies? Do you like them? You're like, yeah, they're good. He doesn't like that. I can promise you, if you would like them to magically appear in front of you today, go on a diet. Say, today's the day. I'm going on a diet. And all of a sudden, brownies or chocolate chip cookies, one of the two will appear out of nowhere. And I promise you can have all the brownies chocolate. It's going to happen. In other words, when you set this big goal, I'm going to change my life and I'm going to save $20,000. Your car will find out about it. The engine will blow and take half, 10,000. You know, like life happens to you. You got to high hurdle that stuff and get over it. But it's coming. Do not be surprised by it. Keep your focused on the prize. Push forward. Everybody struggles. I struggle. These three struggle. We all struggle. But man, you're in the right place. By the way, what is the purpose? I should have asked this before, of the One Big Fire podcast. Like, what is the purpose here? I should have asked that question. I would like to know.
Yeah. I mean, we started the podcast years ago, and then we stopped doing it. Right. I don't know why, but we did. But our purpose was really to get our messages out to our group of people, reach out to the public as well, transfer as much, let them know what we're doing right now, because we're always working on something to help solve a problem. So whether it's, you know, current events in real estate, things we have going on at EXP, things that are happening in the real estate industry, which, you know, in the last 12 months, nothing exciting has happened in the real estate industry. So, you know, it's really just our perspective and getting that out there. Some people want to know it. Some people don't. But circling back to like going big, two things, going big and events. I started thinking about this as you guys were chopping it up earlier, is that we all met because of events. We all met because of like really good events that delivered a ton of value and energy. But I've never seen anybody, you know, the One Big Fire build event. Your build event, I've never seen. I don't think it's ever been done ever in the history of real estate where, yes, real estate companies, big multi-million, billion-dollar real estate companies, they put big events on all the time. All the big brands do. Never have I seen an agent do it from an agent's perspective, putting your wallet on the line, bringing Tony freaking Robbins and Ed Milet. I mean, we're not talking little names, the biggest names in, entrepreneurship, personal growth, and Gary Brecka. When you did, it's really, I hate reusing the term life-changing over and over again because it gets cliche, but truly there's no one I know with the energy that you've brought this company, our organization, and not just our organization, the entire company is a one big fire organization than what you did. And your message back when I met you, which was to go big, don't just do a little open house, do a big open house on steroids, light your hair on fire. I mean, it's been your mantra. And the one thing I was saying to Courtney the other day is, I don't know how he keeps the energy up. Where do you get the freaking gasoline for the jet you're flying all around, man? It feels like you never run out of energy. Could you just touch on how do you keep it going, and what's the secret to keeping your tank full? Because everyone's has to empty at one point. What would you share with us?
Great question.
What immediately comes to mind, and I don't want to sound goofy here, this is goofy, but I'm gonna say love, man. That's my superpower is love. I genuinely love people. Now, are some people harder to love than others? Yes. Do I limit my time with the people who are harder to love than others? Yes. I'm talking about toxic, negative people. I'm nice to them. I hug them. I'll say a prayer for them, but I get away from them. So be purposeful and intentional about the rooms you get in. Make sure these are the kind of people you want to be around, right? And so that, and number two, I don't watch The Walking Dead or Bridgerton or these, Breaking Bad, even Seinfeld. I've never seen an episode of Seinfeld. I know that's un-American, and you guys are I've never ordered from Amazon either. I'm probably the only person left in the world who's never placed an order from Amazon. I'm funny that way. But what I do is I'm constantly reading books, and I'm constantly going to events, and people are like, you go. I mean, I have 2 events I'm going to this month. The Create Conference in Atlanta, end of the month. This Saturday, I'm doing the Surge Conference in San Francisco. Neither one of them have anything to do with real estate. But Tim Tebow's going to be there. Nick, with the guy with no arms, no legs, going to be there. Joe Montana, one of the most winning quarterbacks, going to be there. One of my favorite actors in Hollywood, which I can no longer remember his name now that I'm saying that, but he's going to be there. And all these amazing speakers are going to be there. It's all day Saturday. I cannot wait. And I'm going to go get more. I just spent 19 days in Fiji with Tony Robbins, and he kept saying, you must participate in your own rescue. You have to participate in your rescue. It's not a maybe, should have, quarter. You have to. You're terrible at finances. Your credit card's running up. Don't have money in the bank. Yeah, I'm not good at that. Well, get good at it. 3 rules of life. Number 1, life isn't fair. Number 2, you're entitled to nothing. And number 3, no one's coming to save you. So you better buck up and study, financial, delegate that. Well, how's that working for you? Sometimes you can't delegate your health. You can't delegate your finances. Now, when you get big, you can. And I've got CFOs now and things that help me. But here's the deal. Step up. Tony Robbins always saying step up. So I think, I get my energy from God. That's my thing, and love. And I'll end with this and give it back to you guys. What you focus on expands. If you're focusing on why your life sucks, it's going to suck worse. Stop it. Get control of your thoughts. That's why Tony's always gratitude, be thankful. Focus on what's good. We all have the bad. We all struggle. Focus on what's good about your wife, about your husband, about your business. I got 12 agents, and most of them are cruddy. Well, how many go? I got 3. Focus on the 3. I love the other 9, but focus on the 3. What you focus on expands. My life is great because I focus on cool things. Anyways, back to you. But I don't know if I answered your question. I'll put that out there.
Absolutely. So, Bet David talks a lot about if you have a real vision, you never need motivation. And he says if you need constant motivation, you don't have that. Everything that you do is just for money. And it's just really, really good thinking about that. And so I'm hearing you talk about, connection, love, people, relationships, but is there a bigger vision? What's the vision for your life? What's 20, 30, 40 years down the road for Brent Gove?
That's a great question. So, for me, I want to be a history maker, a globe trotter. I want to have an impact on the world. And of course, that is done through love. It's not how much money you make. It's how many lives you touched. It's going Albie saying, man, you were there for me at 3:00 in the morning. It's me saying, Jay Kinder, thank you for helping me back in 2009 and 10 when I was struggling. And by the way, I went to a bankruptcy lawyer in 2008 and tried to go bankrupt again. I went bankrupt in 95 and I tried to go, and they're like, you still make too much money. Stay home and do nothing for a year. I'm not going to do that. So I spent years and years and years and years paying off hundreds of thousands of dollars in capital gains taxes. And I was just naive and young. I was 39. I didn't know. And you learn a little bit through your pain. So, I don't know if that answers the question, but you got to go through life. You got to walk through the fire. And I'll say this, and I don't mean to quote the Bible too much, whatever, but I always wanted to be a pastor. So just deal with it. I'm not a pastor. Okay. But I wanted to be a pastor. So, but I'll say this, after in the Bible, the number one all-time printed book ever of all time, it talks about wars, plagues, pestilence, people taken into captivity, earthquakes, famine, drought. Every single time, you know what it says at the end? And it came to pass. Think back in your own life. There have been some dark moments in my life. Like 2010 was the worst year of my life. The worst year of my life, the year you guys met me. It was my worst year. I didn't know depression. I'd walk around my neighborhood at 3:00 in the morning. And my wife and I were separated. We had 5 children. It was a horrible time for me. Terrible. Now I'm happy to say we've been married 34 years. We're doing great, and it came to pass. So whatever you guys are going through right now, financial, physical, spiritual, in your marriage, in your relationships, in your business, this too shall pass. Guess what? I'll say this and I'll give it to you. A wave is coming. I'm telling you right now. This is my third market correction. In the 90s, we sold homes with flashlights because they were all boarded up. That was normal. Here's your lockbox key. Here's the dang flashlight. You got to light up the boarded up house, and you got to beat people with them when you walk into a dark room and there's people you beat them and you illuminate. I thought that was normal. I showed HUD repos all in the mid 90s. And then in the 2000s, everything was a bank repo boarded up and short sales. We sold those. What's unique about this market is interest rates are high. Prices have held. Buyers aren't really buying. Sellers aren't really selling. We got this like quagmire. It's about to break loose. We are 12 to 24 months away. And any surfers out there, when you see that wave coming, you watch them. They start getting themselves position, and it's lifting up, and they start paddling, and then boom, they catch the wave. You need to paddle right now. This is your moment. If you're at Coldwell Banker, Remax, Keller Williams, EXP, Berkshire, Sotheby's, Compass, this is your moment. Start paddling. The pruning's happening. Agents are going away. 77% of all LOs didn't renew their license last year. 77%. So all those little 1, 2, 3 loans they were doing are all going to the remaining what? 23%. Same thing in real estate. Everyone that lists their home with their niece, their nephew, their aunt, their uncle, grandma, grandpa, they're out of real estate. All that business is coming to you. The wave is coming. Start paddling. Last man standing, last woman standing. You're going to catch that wave. It's going to be massive. It is coming. And we're at 12 to 24 months out. So keep the faith. Keep paddling. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. This is normal cyclical real estate. It's never fun. But when you come on the backside of that 2005 is when that market corrected in California. The nation found it in 2008, didn't end until 2011. But we had this run for a decade. This wave that's coming, bigger. Get ready. Get excited.
So Brent, one of the things that, the conversation with Tina and Leo and Glenn last week, you wrapped with focus on lead generation. And you know us, our mantra is, it's not the best real estate agent that wins, right? It's the best marketer always wins. The best marketer always wins. And being a great real estate agent, I think, is about 3 or 4 down the line. So you're looking at, hey, I'm hearing you. All right. I'm get my technique and my paddle, but like what should agents be preparing for, focused on, obsessed with to catch that wave at the peak and be able to ride it for a long time?
Okay, I'm giving you the award. That was a phenomenal question. You get the nice crystal plaque award, baby. You're hitting the nail on the head. He's right. Thank you. I'm going to give you the inspiration. Okay, I'm going to paddle, but what do I do? And the number one skill in real estate, and the number two, and the number three, and the number four is lead generation, mastering lead generation. And I'll prove it to you. I was talking to a woman from Buffalo, New York yesterday, an independent woman. She sells 3, 4, 5 homes a month, 3, 4, 5. She has nothing in escrow right now. 39 years in, nothing in escrow, completely unacceptable. And so here's the deal. She's never truly mastered lead generation. It's skill number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you master, because for example, when I finally committed myself to that after 10 years in real estate, I'd done it for buyers early on. And I sold 427 homes, 318 we met at open houses at those open house on steroids in 1 year. Most people have said 300 homes in their career. We did 318 in a year, but I didn't do it for sellers. I'm like, nobody calls me to list their home. I have a call here or there. And my listing presentation is terrible. And I get beat by guys like John Kitchens, Jay Kinder, and Albie Stasek. They're mopping. And I'm competitive. I hate losing. I was frustrated by that. So I spent 2 years and I'm going to figure this out. People started calling me every day to list their homes, sometimes twice a day. Why? Because I finally said, I'm going to figure this out. Anybody who had listings, I'd say, can I buy you coffee? Can I take you to lunch? I would just interrogate them. I flew to Lawton, Oklahoma, and interrogated Jay Kinder for the day, came back, copied him verbatim, used the same ad guy. And I went from having no listings to 18 to 28 active listings at all time, handpicked nice people who brought me gifts, who had good energy. And then the cranky, snotty, well, if we got to list our home, agents are like car salesmen. I didn't take those. I don't care if it's a $3 million listing. I had 6 listing specialists. I'd give it to them. We'll take them. We'll be abused. We want to be abused. When you're new, you'll take anybody. When you get down the road, you're like, oh, I'm listening to that still small voice. That red flags up. This couple is going to be a taco bear. I'm not going to do it because they're going to require a pint of blood and a pound of flesh. The answer is no. You get standards. And when you have 18, 20 active listings, but you got nothing, you take the couple or the individual is going to be abusive by like, it's $900,000. It's a $27,000 commission. I could put up with some abuse. So when you're done, you're like, it wasn't worth it. They kept me up 2, 3. I went to bed thinking about them. I woke up thinking about them. Some of you need to leave this stream cast right now. And you need to go fire a client, go fire the buyer, fire the seller, sucking the life out of you right now. They're all I got. Principle of vacuum. Get rid of what you don't want to make room for what you do want. Get rid of toxic, negative people in your life that make you drink or do drugs. So they didn't make you. I get that. But when you get around me, drink and do drugs, and you don't want that. I have a cup of coffee in the morning and one in the afternoon. It's all the drugs I need. I admit it. I like my coffee. But the thing is mastering lead generation. So here's the deal. I love Seneca. Figured out thousands of years ago, the Greek philosopher. I think he was Greek, Roman, whatever. But it said this: it is not because things are difficult that you do not try. It's because you do not try that things are difficult. And you know what? You got to get a ticket on the struggle bus. You got to fight the fight. You got to, we all struggle, man. I get it. You're going to have to, your ego's not your amigo. I don't want to look stupid. I want to be the guy. If you have love in your heart, I wish I could tell you when look stupid. You're going to look stupid. Michael Jordan missed more game-winning shots than he ever made, but I always remember me. Babe Ruth set the record for striking out the year he set the record for being the home run king. Those stories are, I guarantee you, Wayne Gretzky, the great hockey player, missed more shots than he made, but he's just remembered as the greatest hockey player of time. You're not taking enough shots. And so when you quit talking to 1 or 2 people today, talk to 20 or 30 or 40 people a day. If you need an alarm clock to wake up, your goals and dreams aren't big enough. And I just want to make a difference. People said, what did you love about 2024? I go, you know what? I'm not really, there's a lot of things, but really what I hated was watching agents struggle, was watching them suffer, watching their kids suffer, watching them not have enough money for their car payment, their credit card payment. That bugged me. And that was 80% of the market out there. Seeing 77% of the LOs not renew. They did that because they're struggling. They're getting and why is that? They never mastered lead generation. You got to just want it, man. If I could get you to reach through this podcast and grab you right now and go, come on, man. Quit watching stupid Netflix. That's why you suffer. You're doing dumb things. Put good stuff in. The good stuff comes out. And you're living an inspired life where you make a difference. So I don't know if that's what you wanted, but that's what I had for you. It just came out.
Yeah.
Giddy up. Yeah, man. Well, I was just reading the notes from that vision call that you guys did. And the one thing that really, I don't know if I've heard it. I think I've heard it, but you just articulated it better that day, was like, you wanted to make, I don't know if it was like $200,000 or something like that. And instead of like making that the goal, you added a 0.
Yeah.
And then you shot for that. And I remember, I think it was like you wanted to get 30 closings or something, and you felt short of it, but you got 14, which was your biggest month ever. But because you were going for a goal that was so far beyond, it was that big BHAG. You were planning all your metrics around that big goal, not the one that you actually wanted to hit. And then you ended up exceeding your real goal.
Yeah. It was Glenn Sanford. It was actually Glenn Sanford. It was Glenn Sanford.
Oh, that was Glenn?
Add a 0. Glenn started it, then I finished it. He said, you're trying to make $250,000 a year. Come up with a business plan to make 1.2 million, $1,250,000. And then when you don't hit that, you land at 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. Like, I can't make a quarter. I can't come up with a bigger plan to where you're what you can't do becomes easy. And then I said, oh my God, Glenn's right. My record was set back then. It was just me. I didn't have a team. I'd sold 7 homes in a month. I felt pretty good about that. Got paid 7 times in a month. Felt good, right? If all of you got paid. But I'm like, will I ever I do normally do 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Will I ever hit 7 again? Then I ran out of escrows. I got frustrated. I said, that's it. I'm pissed. And I set a goal to sell 30 homes in a month. I'd never done that before. And the goal begged a question. If I'm going to sell 30 homes in a month, how in the world will I do that? Well, I guess I got to quit going to the office and trying to set up appointments to show property this weekend. See, I can do, man, I have to show property every day. I had a sense of urgency. I was down at the office, not at 9 or 10 or 11. I was down there at 7:30. Let's go. Who am I showing property today? Somebody somewhere seen something today. I started showing property every day, sometimes 2-3 times a day. I started writing offers every day like crazy. And I didn't hit my goal of 30 homes. But to answer your question, Albie, let the cat out of the bag. I sold 14. I doubled a record I didn't know if I'd even get to. I just freaking doubled it. So you're struggling. You're thinking too small. Set some BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goal. How dare you sell 30 homes? Are you a big team? Nope, just me. I'm going to sell 30 homes this month. Big teams don't sell 30. Who do you think you are? I don't know. I think I'm made in the image of God. I could do a lot of cool things. I got 24 hours. I could show property, write an offer, put it in escrow today. And I went after it. So you were this close to your breakthrough. Just quit worrying about what people think. With love in your heart, put in massive action. You're going to improve quickly, and your life is going to change. You are 30 days away from having an entire new life if you embrace it. And I commend all of you for being on this Honey Badger podcast. You're here. You're growing. I love you. I've got to go. I'm actually speaking 30 minutes away from now. And now I have 28 minutes to get there.
Before you go, Cabo, baby, Cabo 25, Cabo25.com. People still get tickets. It's not sold out yet, correct?
Absolutely. It's going to sell out. We've of course, Pace Morby's going to be there. Rockstar, if you don't know Pace, Ed Milet, Tom Ferry, one of the top real estate coaches. They're all coming in, flying in their jets. Gary Brecka, and then 1,100 of the superstars of the industry are flying. It's the #1 premier event we do. It's 9 to 12:30 every day. Then you get to play all day, play all night, enjoy the pool, the spa, golf, fish for marlin, whatever. Hyatt Ziva. Go to Cabo25.com, get a ticket while you still can. This will sell out. But the cool thing is we have a handful of oceanfront rooms left. When those are gone, they're gone. You get the garden view. And if you love looking at the desert in the parking lot, that's for you. So I would get a room today, get your ticket today. And anyways, love you guys. Thanks for having me at Cabo25.com.
Cabo25.com. I got my tickets. I'll be there. I don't know about Jay and John.
I'm there.
Also,
it's gonna be awesome.
Cleveland, if you're listening to this from Cleveland, you want a little warm up to Cabo? Come and I'll put the links in the comments. Brent is coming to the frozen tundra of Cleveland, Ohio, swimming across Lake Erie like a polar bear. Gonna come up.
Never been there, but I'm coming for you, Cleveland and surrounding. Yeah. If you're within an hour flight, Southwest, want to get away, catch a Southwest flight, flying to Cleveland. If you're within 400 or 500 miles, get on a Southwest flight, come see us. Love you guys. I got to bounce. We'll see you.
Appreciate you, brother.
See you, brother.
See you, everybody.
Appreciate you. Later, guys.